All right, welcome back to the Kyalami race circuit. We're waiting for the Kyalami 9 hour, which will start a little bit later on this morning. There are the races that will take place, of course. Before that, we heard from the head of motorsport at Volkswagen. We're talking to him, Micro, a few minutes ago. But right now, I want to speak to a lady who's going to be driving the safety car. Her name is Gina Extian, and she joins us now, the safety car driver. Gina, are you well?
Very well, thanks.
No, what I meant was, are you well to drive a safety car in the first place? That's what I meant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm ready to go. Yeah.
All right, Gina, listen, I mean, it's fantastic to be driving the safety car in any race. Talk to us about the car itself. What's the safety car? This is for the main race, right?
Yep. The main race. It's a Porsche 911 GT3 RS.
Tough
sponsored
life.
by Porsche South Africa. I'm very privileged to drive it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing car. So.
Are you a racer yourself?
I used to race a few years ago. I raced for 2 or 3 years, just a South African series. I'm sure that you heard. Previously, I raced a Polo, just in one of South African series.
Okay. Women in racing in South Africa, are there a lot of women involved in racing? Is there a lot of support for women in motorsport?
I would say there's a lot of support, but there aren't very many. It's still very much the minority. If you have a race, there might be, let's say a racing series, there might be 1 or 2 females out of a pool of 30. So.
Yeah.
Tell me, how do you end up being the person that gets chosen to be the safety car driver?
A lot of experience, especially around motorsports. I've been involved in driver training for many years, so that helps. Also, last year I was part of the safety crew as well. I was just sitting with the guys from Europe learning what they want us to do and how they want us to do it. So that's very, very important, because at the end of the day we need to get people home safely. Yeah. That's what it's about.
Obviously, from watching copious amounts of F1, the only thing I know about safety drivers is the one in F1 is South African, Alan van der Merwe, and 2. Drivers are always complaining that the safety car driver is too slow.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that.
What actually goes into like what is it that you are sort of trying to make sure happens when you are up, obviously, to come onto the track?
So first of all, we need to back everybody up, make sure that the group gets together. So that is a bit slower. After that, our job is to make sure that the guys can keep heat in their tires and their brakes. So once the restart gets going, that everything's up to temperature, because it can be quite dangerous without it. So as a safety car, you are going as quick as you can. You do push, because the race cars are a lot faster. You are trying to up the speed. To put it in perspective, if we kept it under a yellow flag, they would only be able to do 80 k's an hour around the track. That's why they send out the safety car, just to make sure that basically everything is up to temperature.
What sort of speeds do you reach?
I don't check.
You know, you're scared.
I'm not going to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, she's not exactly taking selfies like, wait. She's out pretty quick.
We've seen a lot of selfies, guys doing 200 kilometers an hour, so it actually does happen. Is
it stressful though? Because I mean, obviously you're going to be a safety car driver for a 9-hour race. Is it quite difficult to be switched on for that long? You know.
It is, but we take turns, so there's always more than one driver, and we do stints about 3 hours. Mainly we hope that we don't go out on track, because that means there's an incident, and that's what we don't want. But when we do, I mean, we're sitting in the cars in our race suits with our helmets ready. As soon as we get the call, we got to go.
And the suit has to be flaming hot.
Flaming hot.
Especially, today I think it's going to be about 30 odd degrees, so good luck in that suit. Have you done this before for other races?
Yeah, for some of the VW races. Okay. And last year, obviously, I was just sitting to learn from the 9-hour.
Okay. Is the actual race itself, when what time are we starting?
So we start at 11, and we run till 8.
11 until 8. That is quite hectic. I wanted to get out of Micro some of the management systems, and we obviously can't. I can see all the pits right at the back. I don't know if our viewers can see it, but right at the back you can also sort of see where the pits are and so forth. Is that the same sort of setup that you guys would have?
So no, we right in front. So we'll be right at the pit exit. We need to go as soon as there's an incident on track. So we sitting in the car in the pit lane.
Yeah.
It's not the same. We don't need a pit crew. We don't need
you guys would work with the paramedics?
Yeah. So we're all on radio together, and so there's different medics out on track.
Yeah.
And as soon as something happens, the medic team gets sent, safety car gets sent. Yeah.
In the other races you've participated in, have you ever had some memorable incidents where, I suppose,
There has. Last year we were sitting in the car for about an hour in the rain doing laps, obviously because there's water on track.
Yeah.
The more laps you do, the more water gets dispersed off the line. So we need to stay out there quite long. So an hour, that's quite something, and the visibility was quite. It was at night in the rain for an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you do when you're not doing this? Is it the driver training that you were talking about?
Yeah, driver training, and I work for the LSM group, so for Porsche, Bentley and Lamborghini, and I do some driver training with them as well.
You got one of your own.
I wish.
All right, I wish I was you, Gina. But right now, let's go to our reporter, Justin Ford. He's also joined us here at the Kyalami circuit. I'm not too sure exactly where he is. He's on the other side, I'm told. Justin, good to see you this morning. Where are you exactly, and what's going on around you, Justin?
Good morning, Tony. Yes, an exciting time ahead, no doubt. We were here yesterday. We are on the main straight. Actually, I can kind of see you in the distance. We are closer to the pit lane sort of spot. But yeah, exciting. Looking forward to 11 o'clock to actually see these cars in action. We were privy to the pre-qualifying event yesterday afternoon. Also, again, just seeing these machines run down this track really promises to for some racing that really is going to hopefully have the fans watching online. But for now, I think quiet times. But the other races are also the VW Polo Cup, Super Cup and Challenge. That too, often is a closely contested event. So looking forward to that.
Justin, have you had a chance to actually go into some of the, I know you're by the pit lane itself. Have you had a chance to go into one of the pits, inside there to see, is it as technical, some of them, I'm sure there are technical guys sitting in there. Just how comprehensive is it?
Yeah, look, unfortunately, we did not get the opportunity to actually go into the pit lane, but having been, as I mentioned yesterday, we were simply just looking at them, and seeing them in action. So, and it's really different, and I heard some talk about, his knowledge around Formula One. And with Formula One pit lanes, we're seeing wheels being changed, sometimes in less than 2 seconds. On this side, however, cars coming in, notably these guys need to change tires, they need to change drivers. You've actually only got 2 guys changing all 4 tires. So 1 tire at a time, jacking up, taking off, putting on, jacking down, and repeating the process all the way through the cars. But it sounds quite intense. The systems that they use, they appear to be quite precise, and that was really quite awesome to see. So, though hard-working, 9 hours is a long time. The mental capacity, the physical capacity that these guys need to have is definitely something that needs to be up there.
Yeah, 100%. 9 hours is a long time to be driving, just on normal times. Can't imagine driving competitively for 9 hours around the track. Justin Ford, you'll be here for most of the morning into the afternoon as well. Thank you so much. We'll catch up with you a little bit later. That's our reporter, Justin Ford. Gina, just one quick last question before we let you go. I know I asked you about your particular speed that you'll be driving at. Behind us there, is that the car?
No, that's the course. So they're just going to go check the course and make sure that
they're just going to go and check the course. Because I looked at it just now. I was wondering if that is the particular. I don't know if our guys can actually see that particular. Oh, you can't see it. Nobody can see it. Okay, sorry. So, but the car's just going past us now. What sort of speeds are the guys going to go at? They're actually in the race itself.
It's difficult to say. I would assume 280.
Well, here he goes. But that is that the 911?
That's a Cayman.
That's a Cayman. You see, I don't know anything about Porsche. I don't know anything about Porsche cars.
911 when you see it.
It looks much cooler than that. Wow. She says you'll know it when you see it. So that's just a Cayman. So they're just checking the course right now to see if everything's fine. Because I saw some guys walking around, some stewards, literally picking up every small little, basically debris of the course, and that really matters, isn't it?
Yeah, for tyres, you don't want to get anybody to get any punctures or to kick up stones to somebody else. So try and keep it as clean as possible.
Okay. Now I know. I've learned something today.
Listen,
That's a
you
Cayman.
you guys talk about driving, racing for 9 hours. I'm from the Eastern Cape. Once a year I go home. That's basically the 9 hours.
That's a
I
nine.
get involved in
That's your
every
9
single
hours.
time.
And some of
That's
those
exactly what I
roads are
do.
pretty. That's a lot more intense than you're going to find here. Listen, Gina Exnian, thank you so much, safety car driver. Good luck a little later. We hope that you don't have to come out so many times. I know you want to drive that car, but I suppose at the end of the day, safety comes first. We hope we don't see too much of you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I
All right,
appreciate it.
fantastic stuff. All right, stay with us here on Saturday Sport. We're still at the Kyalami racetrack waiting for the Kyalami 9-hour to start at about 11 a.m. this morning. There's other races before that. All right, Sims and I we'll be back in just a short while. We're going to talk a little boxing as well. But we're still here in Johannesburg at the Kyalami race circuit.